burger. Ah.
Always got to get the
Is that Tank?
burger.
Tank.
Nice.
Tank McClinton.
That's cool, man.
Who's our sponsor?
I don't know. It looks like Mike McDaniel. Oh, I got to skip him. Get out of here, McDaniel. It was, I don't know. You're perfect. You're like
good.
leveled out. Actually, the border.
Works out nicely.
Yeah, but there's a skip trial 1 month free. YouTube Premium.
We don't do premium things.
No, where did I put my phone? It was making noisy.
Hello, everybody.
Things. Where was your phone? It was outside.
What's going on?
Hopefully it still is. It was being vociferous.
Yeah, we'll skip the trial. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'd like to welcome you. Thank God it's Tuesday. I would also like to welcome you to subscribe to First Amendment Sports. It's free. Let you know when we go on the air, when people like Greg Martin wondering when. It's 9 o'clock somewhere. And if you hear or see, probably going to hear before you see something you like on a Tuesday night, give us a thumbs up.
I wouldn't be so sure. Just saying.
He's Kevin Ricca.
And I have no tank top on underneath of this.
No tank top.
No, I mean.
So no tank
whatever.
top PJs is what you're saying. Not tonight.
Well, I mean, I'm in all black though, but I'm mourning a tie. Actually, I'm tying one on tonight. Let's do it.
He's Tim Strachan.
I do have a tank top T-shirt.
T is for tie.
Just
Oh,
cut off. Too.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah.
It's that time of year, man.
Yeah.
Now, I do have, since, the first order of business, I do want to say we lost a subscriber over the last
What?
week. I know. It is, I've been looking for this person, been trying to find this person. I don't know, like we lost
They
them.
unsubscribed us?
We don't know where they are. We lost them. They were lost in the shuffle, and so we didn't.
Someone's playing hard to get, I think. Ken.
We let somebody down, and you know what?
We can only have to think it was a person who was evading capture and wiped all their stuff clean.
Okay.
I think
I like the sound of that.
that should be a part of the
By
equation.
the way, we're not great at capturing people.
Yes.
I don't think. All that great.
Someone whose identity could no longer be.
Somebody had to wipe themselves off the grid.
You're right.
the
And we're very
non-dark
good
web.
at hiding. So maybe people are going to come to us. They're going to be like, you guys have hidden pretty well. in this
We muffed a
county."
subscriber. That is correct. A subscriber was muffed.
Ah,
I hate it. I'm not going to let it go either. I'm not going to. We're going to beat ourselves up for
I
a
think we're
second
gonna
about
get a
it.
subscriber in
We'll see.
like 5 minutes.
We'll see. We have an opening. I guess what I'm trying to say is we have an opening. Like we were pretty. If you are not a subscriber
our
yet,
dance card is not full.
we have some room. Okay, like let me just put that out there. I just want to be
You know what?
welcoming to
It could be a
people.
Christmas gift too. It's a free Christmas gift,
free
but it's a
Christmas
gift that somebody. It's a gift that keeps giving every Tuesday all year long.
And there's a
Shitter's full.
There's a warm seat. There's a warm ass seat. So, all right, we got that out of the way. Anything else exciting happen? We're not. Before we
No.
get to what
No,
I
it did-
desperately
actually,
want to talk
it
about,
didn't have nothing exciting happened.
I will offer everyone this. For quite some time, ill-advisedly by both my chief counsel and my, keeping me sane person,
Director of Fun.
the whole committee
I shouldn't be in charge of sanity. I'm
He-
going to say that right now.
has told me not to say the things I've been saying on the air for the last year, which is to say, team's getting sold. We're going to have a new owner. It's not a question of if anymore, and this is a done deal. Done deal. We knew that. I want to be, from a basement perspective. We don't break news. We don't know things that way more important people don't already know. But little birdie out there is saying Redskins deal's done. New owner is known. The T's and the C's are being agreed
Known
upon.
amongst a very small few.
Known amongst a very small few.
This guy flies south to Ashburn.
And your
for the
birdie
winter.
knows who that person is, or
Right.
he just knows that people know who it is.
Well, no, I'm saying first of all,
Tweet,
they're not going to be
tweet.
able to keep the secret. I wasn't told who it was. I was just told that the deal was done.
No, but does your birdie know who it was, or does he not even know who it was?
was a finance person who had worked on the T's and the C's part, and they said,
Gotcha.
but there was apparently an inside guy, like a minority owner from another team who wanted to get big boy pants in the league. I think those guys always get a very fair hearing by the league. If clearly they have the money, clearly they know what's going on, and they're in the club.
Gazillionaires usually get heard.
Yes.
If they have something to say.
So I would personally bet on Bezos. He just makes the most sense every which possible way. But yeah, that's
I know,
true,
but
that's
we
true.
haven't done our research on Bezos yet.
We're gonna do some real Bezos stuff, and I think it's time. It's time. Maybe next week we do a Bezos segment because the news is gonna come out. You'll know before I know. We'll all know at the same stupid time who this new owner is.
What I do know is that he doesn't micromanage, that he hires people to do jobs
Yes.
correctly.
That's right.
And so that's already
Sure.
Golf
on
clap,
day one.
Golf clap, golf clap.
That's
He's
already
not in
an
it
up.
to be
Up and up.
He doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to be able to pick players and call shots to make more of himself in life.
No.
Sure.
His $100 billion is already spoken enough to say,
This is his fun.
he's doing. Yeah.
Pick a shot caller. Get yourself a nice ass seat
Mm-hmm.
in the new stadium. Like he might just be hovering over, looking down. He might have like the hovering office.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
And keep in mind, Dan Snyder was our problem wasn't with him hiring people. He was great at hiring people. He hired a ton of people. It was because he kept firing people. It's like his whole thing was fire, 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 fire. And
Because
some of
they
those
didn't
people,
do it his
course.
way, or
of course,
yeah. It was,
Well, wrong football guy.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna hire a football guy who's a pro. So I'm guessing.
I'm guessing too. So the news,
Hoping.
they're not gonna, and this is the NFL's MO. They're not gonna step on their own show. They're gonna let Rihanna do halftime. The Skins beat the Chiefs or the Bills, probably the Bills. Rematch of the Skins and Bills in the Super Bowl. I think that's where we're kind of heading towards.
Yeah.
And then later that week, there'll be an announcement, and then at the March owners meeting, they'll approve it, they'll bless it, and we'll be off and going. Free agency and the draft, bam, new. But this gives somebody, because I was thinking about this today when they were like, yeah, it's already done deal. They'll prove it in March, and I'm like, oh, in my mind, I'm thinking after the season, so far away. But it's not. It's about 2 months, 2.5 months to get to that Super Bowl. We're talking about 3 months of giving whoever this person is a chance to start getting some things in motion. That's why the word's going to get out. There's going to be an announcement from the DC Stadium folks. There's going to be an announcement from people people interviewing guys like Louis Riddick or types, Mike Mayock types, the guys that we know about who are always in line to get interviewed for football guy jobs. All that kind of stuff is just going to start getting out. But 3 months, it seems like either a ton of time to wait or not enough time at all to put all that together.
Yeah, but
They're
if
gonna
you don't have
though.
to put anything together, and
Yeah.
just keep it how it is. And
You can't. Okay, then that's what I wanted. This is where I was going. There's a list of day one you don't work here anymore, and it's not Ron Rivera, it's not Terry McLaurin, it's not Jonathan Allen. We're not talking there. I mean, it's Jason Wright, and that
some
staff
people
of
say
that
no
scouting.
because it's wasn't Jason's fault. He was here in the first place. He was kind of like,
That's fine. That's fair, but he wore it. And he was part of the team that did a lot of the things that happened over the last 2 years.
like, I feel like he has a closet somewhere that statue
Yeah.
of Sean Taylor comes out like, woo.
He knows. He knows. I hope he does great. I hope he gets another opportunity, and I hope he does great. But
You've moved on from Jason, right?
no, yeah, exactly. These are this is from an organization because I do feel strongly, and see if we agree on this. The new guy comes in, you keep Ron Rivera at least for another year, at least if not for the length of his contract. But I don't think you can rip this out and tear it because I don't think that helps you at all.
no.
No, I agree. That Ron Rivera has been the glue that has brought these guys in the locker
you
room
need
together. I don't know about
stability-
the guys in the office up front. I don't know about these guys. That's different.
If
Whatever.
you need stability at all, go for stability on the
We do.
football
Yes,
side.
and we need it.
He's given us
And you
stability.
have somebody
Yes,
that you
that is
can
a job. That was the
go
first
with.
job.
Yeah, you
Give us
have
stability,
somebody you
please,
can go
sir.
with who is.
Sir, how about credibility?
Can we get a
And then a tad bit of stability.
yes?
I think he's done a good job.
I think he has too. And again, people are going to take issue with a lot of things football wise, the football conversations. We won here, we
Why
lost
else
there. You
would
don't
we
like
be
this,
talking?
of
Right.
course. But at the end of the day, you know, what
we
we asked him to come
wavered.
in here and do, we're gonna have to ask him to come to stay
have.
and do.
I've wavered.
Of course, I've wavered.
This year, he made me waver for the first time.
Yes.
I wavered a little bit in my pants. After I cleaned it up that Tuesday, I understood. Like, I was like, why so early? You know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. They're going to chase this season down. They chased it down faster than I anticipated, and he's got guys that he picked playing well. So I'm sorry, Ronald. I did
Yeah.
not mean any harm.
And I don't even think the new guy, the new owner, I don't even think he would come in and then necessarily ask Ron to make staff changes. I mean, I think like the
No.
guy we're talking about who understands how to run a $1 billion organization, I think you come in, he sees this, he's not buying the team to be, you know, great right away. He's buying a team to be good and competitive over the next 25, 50 years, right? Hopefully. Year one of that is keeping this locker room intact. You know, you just have to keep that locker room intact.
Ron's already made the most important staff change on the defensive line, which has paid huge dividends. Yeah, I don't think
sure
we've given
has.
that also enough attention. It was big at the time.
It
And then
was.
when things,
It was big last year, too.
when things start going well, then his name's not mentioned anymore. But I can't even mention his name. Pronounce it. How do you pronounce it again?
The
D-line
defensive-
coach.
The D-line coach. The former D-line coach.
Come on. What was it?
You're in charge of pronouncing things.
It's impossible to pronounce.
But so I'm excited about that, and that kind of covers the marriage of white thing, just because we do call ourselves the marriage of white club. The whole reason why, like stories like you know, you hear stuff, we all hear stuff, and you don't repeat a lot of it because you know it's like worthless junk. But we've always known Dan Snyder was a bad guy. We've always known he's got to be covered in slime, and we've always known that Mary Jo White and others are currently investigating that, and that when you investigate a guy like that, the report is going to be damning. So, like, that investigation is ongoing, and
Zanina.
it's going to come at some point in time. That report's coming. So, this, I mean, we've always seen Dan Snyder's body language. We've seen Tiny Snyder. Do you think Tiny Snyder liked getting booed for Breast Cancer Awareness Day at FedEx?
Jesus.
I mean, is the writing's been on the wall, like in magic marker, Sharpie, you know, forever paint? For
We may
quite some time.
underestimate how much that impact may have had.
Disco Dan didn't put enough writing on the wall for Snyder. I mean, come on. The greatest graffiti artist of all time. By the way, I feel bad for Tanya doing that.
I know.
She bore the brunt of her.
I'm telling you, we may be
cute-ass
underestimating
little
how
husband's
much
addition.
impact that had.
Sure.
She may have come home and go, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
This is awful.
How about the kids?
Why would we
like,
do this?
Hey, mom and dad, this ain't great.
Can we stop?
No.
Is
we
there
stop,
another
Mom and Dad?
city we can have the most expensive house in the area?
I want to go out in public.
I'm sad.
This is a bit. That's why I've always been so confident, and we've been confident for the most part, that this was a one-way ticket out of Dan Snyderville, and in short order. There's just no coming back from what
Did you
he's
just
been.
short order Daniel
I
Snyder?
short ordered him. Oh yeah, you're right.
Ding.
Ding.
Table 10. Up.
They were saying boob awareness. I don't think that's true, Greg. I don't think that's true, but it's possible. Speaking of catching up fast, that was one of the quickest disappearances of a 10-point lead I feel like I've seen in quite some time. We were the way the game started, you know, just to kind of start diving into the game, we can kind of climb in from different sides of the jacuzzi here, but that 10-point lead vanished like a fart in the wind. It was just gone. I mean, it was.
Thank God he didn't say do the fart jacuzzi thing.
It just bubbled
Because,
right up and
that
out of there. Blub, blub, blub.
All right, you nailed it. Sorry. It was quick and it was painful, but we do know this, especially now with this NFC East, the way it used to be, the way we grew up in. These games are nuts. These games are going to be nuts. These NFC East games are going to be nuts. And Redskins Giants, Commanders Giants, always bonkers. There's no, it's just, we're not running away with it. It was nice to get that 10-point, but damn, it was certainly nice to get that 4th and 10 as well. Like both of those
Sure.
things happened at the beginning and the end, and they were equally like, all right, this is what it is.
Yep.
It was cool to be part of that. Like I keep looking at my guys. I'm like, we haven't been this relevant in this spot in so long. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is so much fun, man. Except for I got to listen every week because I'm traveling, kids
Yep.
with games, to Bram and Julie. London's great.
London is great, and Bram and Julie are not great. You know, Bram didn't do the game last week.
Yes, on purpose.
No, I wouldn't know.
Scott Johnson did it with
Scott
his parents
yeah.
for their 40th anniversary, I believe, or
Yes.
50th, and it was pretty good. And I think he's a pro.
Scott
I think
Jackson
he does a good
he's
job.
a local,
Sorry, I said Johnson. Scott Jackson.
He's a
yeah.
local pro.
He's a pro.
You were
and-
thinking C.J. Johnson.
who I love dearly, but
course.
you know who I don't love? Bram. Just being honest. I
And
mean,
Scott is
he's a great
best
fan, and he's
football.
good at what he does, but he's not good at this.
No, he's. I don't. Well, yeah, I have my different issues, but Scott Jackson, he is a pro, but this is like his sweet spot. This is where he shines.
I agree.
He did a good job. This is what he does
did.
best. He's done high school like we have. He's done college, and you can see him shot. But
In fact, he did games the same field we did games on
Yes,
this year, just
yes.
not as good as the ones we did. But that's all right. We're better at one thing. He's better at
we
the other.
know
I mean, it's fine.
we know the players. That he knows the players
Right.
for this, and it makes him seem more.
He did a
comfortable.
good job that day. I'm glad his parents had fun. I'm glad that London had fun. I'm glad I didn't have to listen to Bram. And well, whatever. We'll get some good guys in there moving
We're
forward.
gonna get some. Well, my list. You're talking about my list of day one. We don't need you to come in tomorrow anymore. That's
Right.
a part of it.
I agree.
So the 10-point lead gone, but I think like the thing about the tie, right? So we can't like not talk about
Here
the
we
fact
go.
of the tie. The thing about the tie is
You love
for
him.
starters. No. I'm not
Yeah,
even
you do.
starting there. We're
No,
gonna get there.
you
We're
love
gonna
him.
start there. Is that there were different points at the end of the fourth quarter and in overtime when you think, okay, we're gonna win this game. Then all of a sudden you
Yes.
think, oh shit, we're gonna lose this
We're
game.
gonna lose.
And then we're gonna
Brutal.
win, and then we're
Game
gonna lose, and then it's like at some point it got to within 2 minutes, and I was like, man, a tie would be, I would kill for a tie. You know, there was moments when you think you're gonna lose.
See, there you go. You would kill for a tie.
Well, no, in the moment, deep in overtime, when they're driving and getting into field goal range, and you're like, we're going to lose. So therefore, would I rather get a loss or would I rather get a tie? And I would rather have a tie than a loss. And that was twice, end of fourth, end of overtime.
The first time I felt that way, Gano's got a cannon. We know this. We know damn well in seasons past that last week we don't bat a ball and have an interception. This week, that 58-yarder goes right through the uprights. Graham Gano kicked it directly straight, and I knew as that ball was in the air, I was like, I really want a tie.
Yes.
And when it landed on that red carpet in the Meadowlands, I was like, oh my God,
we got one.
we got a tie. That's when I went, I want that tie.
That's right. Okay.
No,
I
I'm
was
just saying.
relieved.
We're in the
I was
same.
No, but
relieved we
I
didn't
know what that
lose.
means because
you.
of our
That's
lack
good.
of.
I was relieved we didn't lose. I just look at this as the game's not over. We just have
We're at halftime.
4 more. Yeah.
We're at halftime with the
Four
Giants
more
game.
quarters.
Our lack of
Let's go.
NFC wins.
It's tough.
No longer matters. The only person that we could be in a tiebreaker with moving forward is the team that we play at 8:20 a week from this Sunday, which puts us in charge of our own destiny. Which means that these NFC tiebreakers are null and void for us. We've got
right.
that extra one on the end of it, which means we ain't tying with nobody. But if Seattle didn't take care of business, we got a half a game on them. That's it. That's
Somebody said once.
I heard this. You
That
heard
a
it too.
tie helps a
Good
good team.
teams.
I don't know. A good team. A good team. A tie helps a good team.
They only say that at the end of the year for the good team.
There you go.
Because the Giants are going to be like, I guess we're a bad team.
There you go. Tie doesn't help a bad team. If they're a bad team, tie can't help them. We do need Seattle. Seattle should have lost that game. I was pissed about that.
God damn the Rams. And they play them again.
It's really, I mean, if you look at it, assuming that nobody just decides to just start losing every single week between the three teams, it's 2 spots for the Giants, Redskins, and Seahawks. That's pretty much
One team's going home. We just got
That's right.
We just got to beat one of those guys. We
Yep.
just have to be faster than the Bear.
Got to be faster than the Bear.
I mean, faster than one of those.
Got to
teams.
be Cleveland.
Not faster than the
Now it's
Bear.
like you got to
Sorry,
beat
know what I mean.
Cleveland. You got to beat Cleveland.
Now we
and you
got to
beat
beat
New York.
Deshaun's nasty ass. That's gonna be tough. But he's already getting his thumb looked at, and that's fine.
Did his
Because
thumb or
well, I'm just saying.
Whose thumb exactly are we talking about here? Was it? Did I say one thumb?
Did he pull a quarter from behind my ear? Wait,
I think he
was
pulled
that
a quarter.
I hope that's a thumb.
7-4-1. Not exactly what I was extremely. I can say I was laughing immediately because I was like, "Oh God, T and Kevin, I'm never gonna hear the end of it about another."
I
tie.
knew we were going to tie one on, so I'm just going
Yeah.
to say that over and over.
It's like we caught a virus from the World Cup, and all of a sudden now we're in a tie.
All right, so now there's an aggregate next Sunday.
and
Is that
then
what you're
Yes,
saying?
a
I
home
knew you were
leg.
going
There's
there.
a leg.
Immediately after feeling relief we didn't lose, I said, I just freaking wasted 4 hours of my life on a tie.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's what a tie feels like. Feels like a waste of time.
I tell you, B-Rob and
Sorry. That's how
Terry
tie
McLaurin.
feels to me.
Yeah.
Curtis
If
Samuel.
you watch football for 3.5 hours, it's not a waste. But it's a waste of a wanted win. How did you know?
I was not happy with the tie.
Just say,
Well, no one's happy, but I was relieved because I feel like we statistically, I believe the turnovers were the same. We dominated time of possession again. We do the right
The
thing.
formula was there.
Our
It just-
yards, rushing, the formula is there.
Yeah.
We keep on doing that the right way.
That didn't change.
No, it didn't.
We didn't score more points.
No.
We didn't score.
We certainly didn't.
Less
'Cause
points.
we don't
scored
score 20
exactly
points.
the amount of points we thought
Exactly.
we were going to score.
God damn it.
Actually, I was 1 point off.
2020.
I said 19.
the thing about playing the Giants, given that they are in that little teeny boat with us with the Seahawks, is that going into the game, obviously we felt confident. Obviously we felt like that was a team we could beat, and obviously we knew what the number 8 would look like in the win column versus their versus their
Yeah.
7. So the math starts to we're one more week deeper into the season, and I didn't want to have. I wanted to have more than 7 wins. But the thing about it is not having the 6 in the L column is a big deal.
It really is. This tie really separates us.
Yes.
Puts us in a little pod with the Giants that we can't hide from because it's time. It's time to go. I love it. I love that we got flexed. We're flexing on them now. We're going in prime time with the
And they're
Giants.
banging up the Eagles this
Since when are the bottom 2 squads in the NFC both right now, what, 6 and 8 for
Because
playoff
we're
consideration?
both in-
Flex
yeah,
to the
playoff
820.
consideration.
I love it. It's
Yep.
so cool, man. And by the way, the Cowboys and the Eagles might be the 2 best freaking teams in the NFL. So I mean,
Without a doubt.
we're right there in the mix. And of course, the year that we have
Eagles.
our
I don't know
year.
about the Cowboys right now.
Well, the Cowboys are
The Cowboys,
playing,
I think, are better than the Eagles
dropped a
and have
50
an
burger,
easier way out. I think they have a chance to catch those dudes. They play them. They have 5 games left. They play them. I'm going to say if it's a 5-game season, they play in week 3, so they can take it and make it to a 1-game deal. That Cowboys defense is furious. That Philly offense is nasty. But since Dak came back, they're the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL.
super
I
efficient.
couldn't believe we had the
And their
best
defense is
record in the
naughty.
league for the last 7 games. Best record
Oh,
in
yeah.
the league.
Hell yeah. Shit yeah.
Ugh.
Heineke's out there throwing for $197. We're scoring about 18 points a game. You know how we do
All
it.
right, here's a question. We got to talk about
Maplewood
Heineke.
style.
Heineke's going to be brought up by the board. Heineke has been a topic of conversation. So let's skip past the obligatory sports talk. Like one guy says, sure, you could bench him. One guy says, no, you can't bench him. I think we've kind of made our,
Why would you bench?
piece. Oh no, because I read multiple articles in the Post and Sports Show.
Yeah.
It's just the thing. Someone has to say it.
The
so
people
someone
who
can
want to
disagree with
bench
you.
him just wake up angry.
Sure.
And
Sure.
it's probably not even about the Redskins or the
But
the
we're
Commanders,
not
whatever you want to call them.
we're not engaging in that. We do have to have a honest conversation about a couple of things that my biggest question is: are these things he can improve, or are these things this is what we're rolling with? I'm okay. I can live with both of those answers. I know which one I'd rather have.
I'm in the latter boat. I think he's topped out. He's not going to get better. His arm's not going to get stronger. There's not going to be more dynamic things you're going to get out of him. I still think he is at best a backup quarterback, but right now you can't bench him the way he's playing.
You think this guy who just said the best record in the area, the best winner?
He's a starter. In
He's
the
Well,
at best.
all right,
He's
let me
a
tell you this.
backup quarterback.
So in the history of our
glad he's our
franchise,
backup quarterback.
in the history of our franchise, there's 6 dudes. Let's name them.
All right.
Throughout the course, not right now.
6'2" is who what
Anyone that have won, that have a winning record after 22 starts
for our team?
in the history of our franchise since 1952. Listen, we can't do the 52 previous. They don't tell you who started. There's some dude named
Yep.
Frank Fachilla, whatever. And
Sonny.
Well, no, Sonny's in the mix.
Can we? You said there's 6 guys.
From 52 forward.
So Sonny, it's got to be one of them.
Sonny is not one of them.
What?
That has a
Okay.
that has a winning record through
At
22 contests.
Billy?
In the history.
Now there's Sonny.
Billy is got the second highest win
Theismann.
percentage. Joe Theismann is tied for third.
Rippin.
Mark Rippon is fifth. So you got Billy, you got Joe Theismann, and you got Mark Rippon. We know
Heineke.
we know Heineke is
I'm going to say Heineke.
is sixth at 12-9-1. But after
ready?
22 starts, and our franchise, there's only 6 men with a
Kirk?
winning record. No, sir. There's 2 left, and they're tough. One
Jay
of them,
Schrader.
Jay Schrader's ass, 17-5, the all-time winner after 22 starts. Jay Schrader,
And then was told to step
then there's
aside.
one more
when it
guy.
really counted.
And it's not Gus. There's only one left, so there's a lot that weren't. Sonny, Gus.
Well, did Brad Johnson even start
Bang.
first 22
No,
times?
He did.
How many times? Okay.
2 years. He started
Okay.
like
Who?
He started
Brad
one
Johnson.
full season, and he started like 8 games
Johnson was the
until
other
they,
one?
or maybe 10
Yeah.
until they put Jeff George. Till
Rob Johnson, Jeff George took over. Yeah.
Danny
that's-
Boy put Jeff George in
Yes,
there.
he sure did.
So Brad Johnson
Go get him,
14
sweetie.
and 8 with Joe
Go get him,
Theismann.
sweetie.
Heineke 12-9-1, Rippon 13-9, Kilmer 15-6-1, and Jay Schrader 17-5. Like, I can't imagine some of the quarterbacks I watched play this week could hold Taylor Heineke's jock in a playoff contest like he did against Tom Brady. That's all I'm saying. I think he has the ability to compete in that scenario. I understand the arm, blah blah blah, but I know this: everyone would take him on their roster, and I think he's a great backup for a great team or a good starter for a bad team. That's all. I think he's one of the top 20 guys in this league.
But he's certainly one of the top 32 quarterbacks. I mean, that league is just short
Dude,
on guys.
there's got like Davis Mills. Like, would we rather have Davis Mills? He started for a year and a half for the Texans.
Yeah.
Like, I'd much rather have Heineke. Like, there's just guys like that. Like, and I get it. The young guys forget about it. You don't know. Fields in Chicago. I'm going to say blah, blah, blah. Of course, maybe this year we take Heineke, but we know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to be a monster. So that's a different conversation, different elements to it. Point blank, the dude's a baller, and he just
He's a
keeps
baller.
it. It's been 6 weeks since we've lost.
He's a baller.
And that makes me very happy.
He's a baller, and he's got a lot of momentum behind him. A lot of his teammates behind him right now. You don't mess this up, but you're not ready to upgrade him to starter for next year, are you?
Maybe.
Oh yeah. So if
Bro,
you-
we've won more with him than anyone else. Like, I don't know.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. You can say, "Thank you, Carson. Appreciate your time here, but we're going to keep that $28 million." You could say, "Hey, Mr. Payne, we just freed up $28 million."
And the NFL's giving us an extra 11.8 because
Yes.
we're moving on up after the pandemic. The salary
Correct.
cap, correct. It's
So-
giving us, it's
so
essentially
you
handing
go
us
with-
Daron Payne.
You go with Heineke, Sam Howell, and you know what? Find me someone else who costs like $10 million.
And you're
less.
okay with a formula that is only going to top out at about 20, 22
Well, but-
points a game?
But here's the thing, T. You're asking the question, and I would say yes because especially if you're able to re-sign Payne, our back end, Curl and Force, they're not going anywhere. We got them locked down, and we're not paying them jack shit. Kendall Fuller, he's sticking around. We have a first-round pick. That could be a cornerback. Jamin Davis, he's second year. He's our guy. He's not going anywhere.
Our defense is stacked
We're-
not going
we're
anywhere with rookie
so
contracts
talented.
across the board.
For our window there,
That's
is like
why we
another
might
2
want to
years.
get a quarterback, though. But
or
it didn't work last time.
or invest
This
another
guy
one in an
absolutely
all-
outproduced
It
the
didn't work
$28
last time
million
because there was no
dude.
one to
I guess
choose from.
what I'm saying is, what if you added a
There's
top
no
level
one to
offensive
choose
lineman?
from this
Then all of
year.
a sudden
It's
you have
worse this
B-Rob
year.
and
Yes.
Antonio Gibson.
I agree with you.
And Curtis Samuel and J.D. McKissick or J.D. McKissick replacement, and then that's the way you play.
And this year's quarterback batch is the same exact dudes, except for minus a couple stars like Deshaun Watson flying around out there, whatever you think
Yeah.
about him. This year's crop is going to have to unfold because there's not a lot of dudes coming into the mix that we can.
They're scratch offs. C.J.
all of
Stroud,
them.
Will Levis, and
I'm not even
Bryce
talking
Young.
about the young
Forget
guys.
'em.
Forget about that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Oh, you're talking about like Jimmy Garoppolo.
All of it,
coming back
exactly.
from a broken foot.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
That'd be
Like,
hilarious. Baker Mayfield.
You know what's hilarious is wait till you see how Carson Wentz gets reshuffled after we let him go. Someone's going to give him $28 million. Like, I mean, some dumbass is gonna. They're just gonna. And listen, he's the guy that's the lifelong NFL backup now. That's what should happen. He should always be on someone's roster, ready to sling it. And that's a cool dude to have on your roster, but I get he might not be the guy you want to build your franchise around.
NES Tecmo, I'm with you. It's either offensive lineman, but otherwise, I think offensive line or a quarterback in the first round.
How about we just take a bunch of offensive linemen?
So even according to the board, I'm in the minority here.
Linemen.
For
that Heinicke should
No,
be our
I think the
quarterback
board.
going
No,
forward.
I don't think it's an egregious statement by any stretch.
You just said, would you be willing to go with Heinicke going forward?
That's
I
all
think
I
the answer
said.
to that is yes.
Right. That's all I said.
You know, there's a lot.
I'm
of
not
stuff
saying
that
like
can happen.
I'm not saying I'm signing up
with him as our backup.
Okay. I'd be willing to go forward with him as our starter.
Knowing who
in
I
the
think the
system.
possibilities are out there, unless we make a major trade and send some other pieces, I don't even see who possibly it could be moving forward.
Well, you know, that's the cool thing in this league is that in 6 or 7
could
weeks,
be
it's going to
anybody,
be like
sure.
the people that throw the deck of cards in the air. But that said, Taylor Heinicke ain't getting $28 million from anyone next year because there are people who think like you. And the market is going to.
I don't think he
balance
should
that
get any. I don't think Taylor Heinicke is ever getting $28
No,
million.
no chance.
No.
So we can.
I don't know what the market is for him. It's kind of a cool conversation. Is it what? Because quarterbacks are either like teeny meeny or ton.
They're all
There's
sitting at
not
the
a,
table
like,
right now going, should we just offer him like, I don't know, 10?
I think if you offered him $10 million for 3
How about
years,
8?
it's
He's
done.
like 11. 11. Do I hear 12? No.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
and then you know what? Draft another guy next year in
Sure.
the 3rd or 4th round. And then,
Stockpile
Yeah.
O linemen and 5th round picks and see what works.
how about
wait
this?
till-
What the 49ers have done over the last few years, it gets overlooked. But they're doing. We've said it, and it's been said, and it's in front of our plate. They do exactly what we're trying to do. They stocked up on defensive linemen and defensive talent. They've stocked up on of course they invested in Trent Williams, but they stocked up on running backs, and they've cycled in quarterbacks who don't.
They drafted
blow your
Debo
skirt up.
Samuel.
And
Damn it.
Debo,
and
and they
then
got
brought in
Debo.
Christian McCaffrey, and now
course.
this dude Brock Purdy.
Brandon
is
Ayuk,
gonna-
Greg Kittle. I mean, they have the ability to play possession offense, and they shut you down on defense. And that is exactly.
And
even in the
everyone keeps
playoffs.
saying they're going to win the whole championships. They're 8-4, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it right now. I think Kyle Shanahan has got a lot to prove. This team has all the right parts and blah blah blah, but I'm kind of done watching him underachieve and be a prick while doing it.
Sure.
He has got a brilliant offensive mind. I'm not going to argue that, but I'm done with him just
They were just in the
failing
Super Bowl.
and being. Yeah, and then it crumbled.
Okay.
I'm kind of excited about
he
Garoppolo.
crumbled.
I don't
Getting
like
to the Super
when
Bowl
guys
is
I
play
know,
good.
I get it, but Ron Rivera's been to a Super Bowl. Like, that's not helping us at all. Like, Kyle and Ron are the same cat. I don't know why they keep saying Kyle Shanahan, the San Francisco 49ers, are going to be the blah, 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 blah. They're
I
down to the
hate when
third
guys
string dude.
get
They were
hurt.
down to their second. I hate it too.
Don't want to root for that ever, but there is a little of me that's like, all right, Kyle, what are you gonna do now that you're the
Why do
guy,
they hand him
the
these
guy
things?
the guy that has
You throw
only
Brock
ever
Purdy
taken you
in
to
there,
the
who
playoffs?
I've loved since college. I always thought the kid was pretty damn good.
Well, we'll see. You know, I mean, the NFL has a way of chewing the guys like that.
There's two guys on his team that he's not better than, and that's all I'm looking at. And I think he is pretty damn good. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be great. He's got some balls. But guess what? When you got those balls and you're a rookie and you've played one game and you're double pounding your stuff and talking all the guess what happens next week? We always talk about getting humbled in this league. And Baker Mayfield, who's not going to San Fran because Brock Purdy's there, he got humbled in this league.
Yep.
He came in with a Heisman Trophy in the first round, blah, blah, blah. And him and Carolina just mutually parted handshakes. And everyone said San Fran. I don't think so. You don't want that dude in your locker room right now after you've been in there.
Let's think about it let's think about it in terms of the new owner also, because if we all agree, which we did, and people on the board I think rung in for the most part in agreement. If you agree that the smart way to manage the business is to let the locker room rest through the turmoil of an ownership change, I don't think anyone's going to fault this guy after 4 years of going getting a fresh set of coaching or whatever. But you don't do it without knowing anything about anything. So, but if that's true, but he's also hiring. If he goes by my list and he's getting rid of Wright and the whole front office and all the crap that went along with Snyder, then he's bringing in new, competent football guys who it'll be their first year. It's one thing for Bezos to say, I'm thinking about this in terms of 30 years, 50 years. But the guy he hires to be in charge, to be the GM and in charge of picking players, he's on a much shorter timeline. The only position that he has a chance to come in and make a splash at in this offseason is not going to be a coach because Bezos is going to say you can't touch the coach, you can't touch McLaurin, you can't touch Allen, you can't touch the core of this team. But guess what? There's no core at quarterback. I'll be willing to go with Heineke, but I think that and here's the flip side of that because the issue with bringing a good quarterback here over the last 5+ years hasn't been necessarily our lack of resources. It's been the lack of interest from those big name players to come here and play for our shitty ass owner. If you have a $100 billionaire owner who's building a new stadium and just hired a whole new front office for the people, has an awesome defense and a decent skill set, wide receiver and running back, I think the Matt Stafford of this offseason, who we don't know who that is yet, who's going to want to move somewhere, he will tell his agent, you know what? Wouldn't have said this last year, but I might go there this year.
And you know, I think wouldn't have said it last year that might say it this year.
Bring it. Lamar Jackson? Who you got? Who?
He's in that mix.
He is.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know. Kevin, it's 100%
just went through this
factor.
Yeah, but he didn't. Now he just lost Devontae. Now he just
feeling-
lost this. Now
I
they
have
got
a feeling
homeboy
Aaron
coming
Rodgers
in.
might go on another spirit walk and
Trust
never come
me.
back.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna put all my rocks in the center and get in the middle and baptize myself in Irish whiskey. What I'm saying
He's
is
being talked about this all season about going.
He is.
He's only got 1 or 2 years more to give this league
to teach Sam Howell how to be the next guy.
Yeah, or just to be decent. For
I'm
2
just
years.
saying
he
this.
doesn't want to teach nobody nothing.
No, but he doesn't have to say shit. He's the guy. Sam Howell's not scratching his job. That's what I'm saying. This isn't the guy we drafted in the first round that they're saying, mentor him. No, what they're saying is, don't be a dick to him.
And
just
Brady and Rodgers
let him
are the
watch
same
you
thing, Greg.
without saying anything. Let Sam Howell watch you do what you do without saying anything.
And Brady and Rodgers are not the same. They're not the same. When Brady's.
I'm not saying Rodgers is the right guy.
No. But it's going to be like that kind of guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Who, even though they're a free agent, even though they're being traded, even though they're being marketed, there's teams that are X'd off the list. And we've been X'd off the list for all of those players for the last however many years you want to talk about.
Well, you can't say Brady's finished after watching last night.
I know.
It's not going to be Brady either.
But
Don't get me wrong.
Brady's
but
like 6 years older than Rodgers, 7 years older than Rodgers. That's like at least 5 or 6 years older.
It's 45 to 39.
Yeah, I'll take Rodgers
46.
30, his 39 and 40-year seasons for sure. I would.
I will too, but his
just 'cause where we are.
post-game gummy pressers are going to be amazing. And he's like, what?
He's gotten so weird, man.
I know.
He's just gotten so weird.
It would be an interesting way to start the new ownership.
He did go to Berkeley, right? I mean,
So did
Well-
Ron Rivera. I'm just saying this might be the
those
old
two are cut
Berkeley.
from
It's not like we're
different
committing to a
cloths.
10-year
That's 100%
deal.
true.
Shit.
He's not getting the Trey Turner
That's linebacker
11-year,
quarterback. That's
$300 million
opposite
deal.
spectrum Berkeley, but
But
it's
he
true.
would be coming he would be coming
I'm just
to play.
saying, guys, look out there. Look at the possible landscape of
I
quarterbacks
know.
next
You're
year.
right. I'm
that could
struggling.
be on our
I'm struggling. I can't
take the
think of
rookies
any.
out, who whatever. We'll talk about them later. But if you just take veterans, and by the way, this team does not need a rookie. This team needs a guy.
Yep.
This team is ready to make a move, I believe. If we're talking about next year, anyways, we'll see. And by the way, if we could just say our
If we could
business
keep Taylor
model was
Heineke
Heineke.
on top of
and
that?
we wanted to give him $7 a year for the 2 year, a 2 year, $15 million contract. Say that while we kept Howell and then kept our options open. With this roster, I think it's proven that we could win double-digit games. I
How many
don't
games
know
do you
if
think
we're.
we tie?
I'm just going to say this: in our lifetimes, we've tied 3 times. That's all I'm saying.
In our lifetime, and I was at the last one. That was 90.
You were not at the last one. That was in London.
I was not at the
Yes,
last one. I
yes,
felt like I was. That was one of the longest days of my life. But the second to last
was
one.
horrible.
It was a terrible, terrible day. Terrible day. We shall not speak of it.
Hopkins.
Damn it, this shit.
Ah.
But a lot of terrible.
As
things happened.
AGH will say, the pitch was ugly.
What was strange is I think
was angry.
I
Yeah,
listened
the pitch
to
was
that.
angry.
I
It was-
listened to
Me
that
too.
game on the
Me
radio
too.
somewhere between here and Indiana.
I was on the Bay Bridge coming from a family wedding in Graysonville. Yeah.
I was.
They're like, the kick is up. It's no good. We tied. And I was like,
in London.
I was still wearing my Halloween costume from the party the night before, and I was not
The
getting
jumpsuit?
soberer
The
by the
jumpsuit?
second. Let's just say that. No, that was I was Wayne.
Count
from Wayne's World.
Caracula? That was a
nice.
terrible one. The
Yeah.
teeth down there were very intimidating.
But it was a tasteful mustache.
I fed it Fern for like 2 hours. It munched on it like a panda. It
I
was
think you
nice.
should wear the jumpsuit for the show one night. I really do.
Well, you know,
I'd like to switch seats for that as well. Because have you ever seen this jumpsuit
love when-
eat flora?
you try to dress me. You're like when
I'm gonna dress you up for Halloween.
ooh, a little Madonna.
Well, I
All right,
don't know
so
who else is dressing the
how,
motherfucker.
you said you had some trivia for us, some tie trivia.
I do. And the board. All you have to do is answer.
All you have to do is
Yes
answer.
or no.
And we don't know any of this.
I like your
listen.
tie.
I'm ready. Now we know some
Tie.
things. We tied the Giants twice. 2 of our last 3 ties against the Giants. Sandwich tie against the Bengals.
He knows a lot of ties, and he's talking about sandwiches.
Oh well, the Gus Farad game, which
Is our-
Hold on. Is it the
He's our
Gus Farad
resident
game or the
expert
Michael
on
Westbrook game?
ties.
both.
I know, but you would think that was 2 different games. It's not. It's the same game.
It was a long game.
The helmet pop off. The year they were like, you can't pop off your helmet, and he was like,
Oh yeah,
we were all like, no,
No.
15 yards, bro.
the
But
punts.
it was after Kurt.
the
It
amount
was
of
after
punts in that
Gus.
game was
Oh,
unreal.
poor Gus headbutted that. Remember how green that wall was? It looked like Camden Yards right field. And he
Hostetler
headbutted
came
the
in?
shit out of
Is that
it.
right?
Hostetler came in.
I felt okay about that.
Yeah, me too. He was a good backup. But
Dude, I sat with
yeah.
my back to the atmosphere. That's the farthest away at FedEx Field I've ever sat for a game. I was directly between the uprights in the last row at the top of FedEx Field. I mean, my dad and I sat there. I was in college. He picked me up. We came home. I bought a sweatshirt because I was freezing, and I was like, I've never been farther. I mean, I feel like we're closer when we're at home on TV. Like this is unbelievable. But it was a great night with my dad. It was a Sunday night game, right? I believe, or Saturday night, or it was a night game. Either way, it was a night game. And God, 7-7.
I was going to say, it was 7-7.
Well, 7-7, yeah, and then it ended 7-7, and it was an
7-7.
absolute disaster. We had more time in overtime back in those days, back in the 1900s. They let us play overtime for a full 15, like men.
I know. I never understood the Players Association negotiating that
goes
down
so
to 10.
quick.
It goes so fast. It's so dumb.
It could be one drive. You could legitimately control the ball for 10 minutes.
I know. All right, so here's what I did, and it's for the board, and there's no right or wrong answer,
for the
except for
board.
there's right or wrong answers. It's for everybody.
I want to be in this.
There's 10 names. 5 of them we tied. 5 of them we didn't. Good luck, gentlemen. Anyone
All
who
right.
gets over, I'd say everyone passes that gets over 60% overs, and
Including Giants and Bengals. We already know those two. Giants and Bengals.
I'm gonna list 10 names.
10
You're gonna
names.
answer. Did we tie or did
Okay.
we not tie them?
Okay.
This is historically going back, not to the Boston era,
37 and beyond.
1937 and beyond.
Sammy Ball.
So, I'm gonna say a team's name. You say yes or no.
If you just say like the
If you say yes, that means we tied this team. If you say
Toledo
no, we
Boilermakers.
did. Just hold on a
Yeah,
second.
something like that.
The Baltimore Colts.
100%.
The Baltimore Colts.
Yes.
Did we
Yes.
tie them? Did we not tie them?
We tied them.
Yes.
Okay. You guys both say why. Board, Baltimore Colts. There's going to be 10 teams, so I won't give the full answer until whoever wants to participate, but I like this little game.
Okay.
And I've been drinking most of the afternoon, so bear with me. The Chicago Tigers. Did we tie them? Did we not tie them?
No.
I'm gonna have to say we did not tie the Chicago Tigers. Wait, was it an exhibition game or was it?
These are NFL, full-fledged, regular season
I feel like
football
the Bears
games.
are. I'm gonna say yes then. I mean, the Chicago's had a team forever. Put me down for a yes for the Chicago
Okay,
Tigers.
So T's on the left, and he's a yes, no, and Ken's a yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The San Francisco 49ers. Did we tie them?
Yes.
Have we ever tied them? Yes or no? T?
Yes.
T says yes.
The San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to say we did not tie the San Francisco 49ers,
Okay. So we got a Y.
which is breaking my strategy. Because if I say 10 yeses, I could be 8-2. If you start going back and forth, you really risk your record. But go ahead.
The Eastern Muff
Eastern Muff
Scrapers.
Eastern Muff Scrapers.
No, we lost to them. We're winless against the Eastern Muff Scrapers.
All right, fair enough. The Atlanta Falcons. Did we tie them? Did we not tie them?
I got a
He
yes
says
for
no.
Atlanta.
Ken says yes. All right. The New York Bulldogs. Did we tie them? Did we not tie them?
That sounds like a team we tied. Okay, count me for a yes.
No.
Ken's in for a yes. No.
No.
Okay. The New York Bulldogs were a no. The Steagles. The Philadelphia Pittsburgh Steagles. Did we tie them?
100% we tied
Yes.
them. Yes. That was a tie.
Guys, we're doing 10. We're doing 10 teams
How
here.
many we
That's
on now?
back when ties meant something.
Eastern Motors. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. My
How many we on now?
So we got 1, 2, 3 left.
3. Okay,
Okay.
3 left.
The Akron Dirt Asses.
No.
No.
Are you sure?
No, we didn't tie them.
No, I can't wait to answer that question.
I'm worried about the New York team all of a sudden.
There's 2 left.
And the Chicago team.
The Brooklyn Dodgers. Did we
Yes.
tie the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Yes.
Yes, and make me a no for the Chicago Tigers, please. Did I already say no for them? I said no for them, didn't I?
No, you said no, then you said yes. Now you're saying no.
Yeah, no for the Chicago
No,
Tigers.
That one. And final answer. The Boston Yanks.
Yes.
Did we tie them?
Yeah, we tied the Boston Yanks.
Okay.
No, we didn't. I'm gonna say no. Put me down for a no.
Just give me your final answer.
I'm a no.
Ken's a
I'm a
final
no.
No. He's a final yes. All right, gentlemen. Here's the deal. The Brooklyn Dodgers. Everyone on the board knows how they answered. We did tie the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Of course we did. Of course we did.
tied the Brooklyn Dodgers. Hold on, let me just tell you real quick. We tied the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1938. Twice.
Yeah. Well, that was
Twice.
We were matched up.
We
well
played
with
them twice that
Yeah,
year.
it
We
was
tied them
very,
16-16 and 6-6.
It was a real clash of style.
It really
styles.
was. The Steagles were 1 year, 1943.
We tied them that
some
year.
war shit going on.
Yep.
And we tied them.
Yeah, I
we
knew that.
tied the Steagles. So far, you guys are 2 for 2.
I
We've
am.
tied the Dodgers, and we've tied the Steagles.
What do you got next for us?
The New York Bulldogs.
We definitely tied them.
No.
Ken says yes. T says no. In 1949, we tied the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we
14
did.
to
Really?
14. How about that shit?
Shit.
Who
we
doesn't know
tied
that?
the Bulldogs.
Who doesn't know that we
so
tied the
Ken
Bulldogs?
has
About
3
that.
for 3 and
I've
T's
never
2
heard of
for
I'm like
3.
I've known football. I've never heard of the Bulldogs.
I'm
Just
concerned
saying,
about Chicago.
Me neither, and that's why I put it into the question. So
Yeah,
here we go.
The Tigers for Chicago.
We're now with
hurts
the
me.
Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore
I say
Colts.
yes on the Colts. All right, I said
The
yes on the
Colts.
Colts.
You both said yes on the Colts. And guess what?
Oh,
you both were wrong.
darn it.
We did not tie the Colts.
They've been around for a while.
You both said yes. So T's 3 for 4. Ken's 2 for 4 at this point.
Wait,
correct?
no, I'm
Sorry,
3 for
Ken's
4.
3 for 4. T's 2 for 4.
Yeah, come on.
All right, the Boston Yanks. The Boston Yanks. Who said yes? T did. Ken said no. We did not tie them.
No.
Ken's 4 for 5.
This is
T's
why I
2
don't
for
bet.
5. Guys, the Chicago Tigers
Not a
did
team.
exist.
Oh, damn
did
it.
exist. We did not tie them.
Yes.
And you both agreed to that. So
I knew that.
T is now 3 for 6. Ken's 5 for 6. T, you need a run here.
Yeah.
And the Atlanta Falcons?
We both said yes, right?
No.
I said yes.
T said no.
And I was
We
wrong.
did tie the
absolutely
Atlanta
tied.
Falcons.
That was
we
actually-
tied their ass.
I think
In
I actually
1967,
remember.
we tied their
Yeah,
ass.
I remember like it was yesterday.
I know.
It was
Ken, you're on a
close.
tie thingy. The 49ers.
But he's the one that likes ties.
T said
don't like
yes.
them.
Ken said no.
I love them.
We did tie the 49ers. I feel like Maury. It is your tie,
I was going to
baby.
say, did I?
That
is this a
tie, baby.
fraternity?
You made a baby that day we tied in 14-13. Here we go. So
I did.
it's now back to 2. We didn't tie the muff scrapers. That's true.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
I wavered.
And we didn't tie the dirt asses.
No, we didn't tie the
No,
dirt
we didn't.
asses.
So, Ken, as you knew would happen, I knew I couldn't beat him. I knew I could only tie him.
Well, I knew Ken is
Yeah.
our resident expert on ties.
Not expert. I just have a feel
He
for
is.
You
So,
have a whole
I don't-
something.
I'm
to be
not
fair, we did not tie the
expertise.
Colts, the Boston Yanks, the Chicago Tigers, the Eastern Muff Scrapers, or the Austin Dirt Asses, or the Akron Dirt Asses, or whoever's dirty ass that we didn't tie. But
that was
we
from
did
Akron.
tie. How about this? The Falcons and the 49ers, sure, but this franchise has tied the Steagles, the Bulldogs, and the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's
The
weird
Bulldogs, I
shit.
didn't know.
3 ties from New York between the Bulldogs and the
That's
Giants.
true. And we've tied the Giants 4 times. All-time ties, Eagles lead. We've tied them 5
Yeah.
times. Cowboys once. There's some weird tie stuff going on.
I think that the cool thing is, you add in 2-point conversions, you add in a whole bunch of different ways to score. You change the rule. The overtime rules
It's
are on their
crazy.
way to getting changed even more over the next few years, and you still end up with ties. And the frequency with which they're occurring over the last few years has increased, which I think speaks to the way teams play in overtime. Personally,
Analytics.
yeah, analytics.
It has to be part of it.
And Scott Turner was thinking the same way we were feeling. At some point, I mean, you don't say. I don't like to say the words "play for a tie," but it's when you're playing, but you are playing not to lose. And if the result ends up, if that results in a tie, then you can make that argument. But I think that on 3rd and 10 from your own 10, you got to run that ball to minimize the chances that you take a loss in this game. That's when, and then it still came down to being 5 yards short on that kick.
The New York broadcast on Sirius. My sister came in. She had my daughter all day long, and she's a diehard season ticket holder. She goes to 8 games a year, and she didn't go this week. And she came in freaking out. She said, the New York broadcast is all but saying we're definitely going for 2 here. And I was like, well, they're wrong. Now, I think it was later. We scored so quickly. When we came down, it was pretty cool, but we left some time on the clock, and there was no way we were going for 2 there. I think if you're in the Meadowlands on that shitty-ass turf and you're down to your number 3 center and there's 3 seconds on the clock, that's when I'm like, all right, let's go get this thing, get this W, and get out of New York. There was over a minute and a half left, and there was no reason for it.
Right.
But Sirius was saying, it's
badly
definitely,
would he be
they're
criticized?
doing it. Ron Rivera, he's a riverboat Ron. Go
What
ahead.
if he did it and didn't make it? Then he'd have been torched.
It's of course. No, I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was not. But if there was 3 seconds left, hey man, whatever. But at that point, let Daniel Jones give us that pill. So
Hey, after the first couple weeks of the season, if someone offered you 7-4-5-1, you would grab it with both hands. And
Where did you and I have our
well, we didn't have any ties. So for someone you're accusing me of loving ties, there's
we
no
have 7
ties on
wins?
here. Let's see. After
Either
the
one
New
of
York
us?
game, we were both sitting 10-3 going into the bye.
it's always fun to miss scheduling
Yeah.
and to watch you guys rehash it on an old brown piece of Folgers
It's
paper.
like you make some weird sound. That's all.
I think you
It's
weren't
that good
here.
to the last
you weren't
drop
here,
feeling.
and,
It's so
and I drank
crispy.
more than I normally would drink.
Yes, you
and this was at the end of the show.
I like
so
it.
It was
All right.
very
Did
optimistic.
it go 1 minute too long?
We got 11-6 and 12-5. Both are still possible. Both of our records are still possible.
I like it.
But we gotta take care of some business. The interesting thing is the San Francisco game on Christmas, right? Christmas night? Am I mistaken?
4 o'clock, Christmas
Christmas.
Eve.
Oh, that's
Christmas
oh,
Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Saturday.
Christmas
Saturday, Christmas Eve, 4 o'clock.
against
Yeah,
Brock
that's-
Purdy.
That's mass.
Against Brock.
It's
Purdy.
the
Mass
most
at 4 o'clock.
wonderful time.
Mass might have to change this year.
Yes. By the way, I'll be saying it at my house at about 3:15 if you guys want to stop by.
I will be.
I'll
there.
have a little bit of the sacrament ready to go, and
Yes.
we should be fine.
That's not going to be good. All right.
What if I get a special dispensation from Mark Mosley? I just have to tell you. As hard
Could they
as I
also
can.
flex our Christmas Eve mass to like the Christmas post Christmas? We flex the mass. They were like, "You guys are not even going to believe this." We flex the Christmas Eve mass. It's no longer on Christmas Eve night.
If I
during
didn't
the
have a
Redskins games.
3-year-old, it'd be midnight mass. But the 3-year-old can't
Yeah.
make midnight mass.
I think we just need to flex
I
Christmas
can't
Eve
either.
mass.
That's right in my wheelhouse.
Someone call the Archdiocese.
Like if I just keep walking into the confessional and repeatedly knocking, my wife always gets pissed at Christmas mass. Is anyone here?
Can't believe
No one's listening to me.
Can't believe no one went for that. All right. Final predictions for Sunday, guys?
That happened.
No
That
ties.
escalated fast.
No ties.
No ties.
No ties.
We
I
will
don't
not
know.
tie.
Is it not? Yeah, it's true. We won't lose.
Nope.
We won't lose.
We won't win.
Here's the thing. It's
But
not
we won't
a tie.
lose.
It's not a tie. It's not a tie. We're not tying this week.
No.
We're just not losing. We're not winning, but we're
No, it's
also not
tied at
tying.
halftime.
It's tied at halftime. We got 4 more quarters to go against the New York Giants. The best thing is they got the Eagles this week. only one team knows how to beat the Eagles, and it ain't the Giants. So we would enter the next phase of our game against the Giants even more tied than we were before. Assuming they lose to the Eagles, they'll also be 7-5-1. And I don't know. I'm not going to care too much about Seattle just quite yet. I'm worried about what we got right in front of us.
I'm worried about this. In 1960 and 1967, we had back-to-back ties.
Yes. Hey, T, who loves ties more than this guy?
But apparently,
He loves
today,
That's a
Kevin.
bow tie.
He's our tie guy.
But that might be the third time is a Sicilian bow tie. What's it called?
Sicilian.
What's the bow tie? What? It's not. Is it? It's
I think
not
we should
Sicilian.
tie a knot on this.
That's like a Garrett.
and
There's a
Cut
term
out.
for
Yeah, that's what they used to.
noose.
Yeah, exactly.
there's a something bow tie.
Yeah.
It's not a Sicilian bow tie.
It sounds like that's what it
A
would
Sicilian bolo tie. Can we just take two cultures and mash them together?
be. I think you just did.
Well, I'm Sicilian, so it's fine.
Sure.
But I don't know no one from Texas.
Sure.
He's kind of
Until you
he's big and burly.
know,
He's a big
until
burly
you
guy.
until you make somebody angry, and then you have to change your name.
The Colombian
That's fair.
necktie. That's what it's called.
Thank you.
Thank you, EO.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll assume you looked that up and you're not an expert of any kind in
now,
the subject.
now I'm stereotyping my own folk over here. I'm
Yes.
like, that's a Sicilian necktie. I'm sure that's very fashionable.
All the Colombians are like, screw you,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's
All the-
our
yeah.
thing. That's our necktie.
Yeah, if you guys don't see me next Tuesday, you know exactly what the hell just happened.
Sicilians are more bolo ties than
All the
Colombians
Colombian
are more neckties.
fans just.
I
called
know.
this
I
a
also combined
formal
Texas
party.
into this.
We've been trying so hard to break into Central America, and you've just totally killed our whole subscription push through Central America.
And
We just have to go
and
straight
the
to South
Sicilians.
America now. And
know.
Sicilians. No, Sicilians are there with
The
us.
Texans, the Colombians. I'm just.
Damn it. We're gonna have some more openings next week for some subscribers, everybody. Just keep your
Never trust
hand
a
ready on the
Sicilian when
refresh.
Death is on the line.
It's like a Taylor Swift concert. If you just keep refreshing, you might have a spot for you on the subscription bench. We're going to come back next Tuesday night and talk about the glorious bye week and all the things that happened that will make the second half of the New York Giants game so much better. But
What do
mostly,
you like? What do you
glorious
like
bye
more,
week.
ties or buys?
I'm not like you. I loved watching a whole game of football this past week. So I'm going, they gave me a tie. I took it. I grabbed it with both hands.
I enjoy buys more than ties.
How about a Mai Tai? After a few Mai Tais.
After a few Mai Tais.
Did we just go 1 minute too long?
We just went 1
It just
minute
got
too long.
really bad. I'm sorry to Sicily.
Colombia.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thailand. Bangkok.
Both Austin and Akron.
Oh, God.
Of the Dirt Ass
Asses
franchise.
No, but it's a great franchise.
Well,
Yeah.
it's been a few other places.
And it was unwashed for
obviously.
many, many moons.
And
but-
it's in Philly now. And
Might just
they're
say this to you
mad.
guys on the board. You guys just root every time there's a punt for a muff, like so bad for
Yes.
Tuesday. I know. I'm like, muff that punt. At some point, I'm having everyone in my house. Like, just if it happens, like I'm giddy for the rest of the night.
So
But
we had a
we're
muff
due.
punt
We're
in
due.
the DeMatha Gonzaga game after this all started, and I almost giggled on air.
You did giggle on
I
air.
actually did giggle
On air, the giggle was captured.
I giggled
On air.
Right? You said muff, and it was
It was a muff.
Well, I'm just going to say this. My mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
my wife, so they're on the board, but they don't really type on the board.
How about a thumbs up from one of them? Come on, click it. Click.
Well, if you would just get the middle finger button, I'm sure. I
Where's the
could
middle finger
acquire
button?
Many of
Damn
those
it.
from mostly.
I think there
got
should be one.
thumbs, mostly thumbs.
agree.
I mean, freedom of expression. We should have.
agree.
Yeah.
We get a lot
You
of
don't
those.
like something, then you just.
That would
But
be a
I
thing.
do
though.
know this.
They love it.
We get to Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not happy
So
about that.
we have to talk. We
Yes.
might
Maybe,
miss.
can we get flexed to Christmas Day?
We might have to flex our show somehow because the week between Christmas and New Year's, that could be a tough week. Might be some.
There's a
What
boner
are you
in there.
doing?
That might be-
Where are you going?
I might be in Vermont for
Actually,
a
I'm
couple
going to
days.
be in. I might be somewhere too. We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
don't know.
We'll
Well,
see.
You know.
We're waiting for the scheduling gods, but we might flex it. A Christmas Eve pregame show, obviously. I mean, what says
Could flex it
Christmas
to
Eve
like,
like
Thursday.
telling our wives get the family ready for Christmas Eve Max,
No, you can't
which
do
has been
Thursday.
flexed.
Who's Christmas Eve Max? And why are you guys getting ready for him? Is this a new tradition?
Listen, All I got to tell you is this. When he comes, you better be ready.
I swear to God.
You better be ready.
I've been waiting to meet him for so long.
This is a wash your ass moment all over again.
Max? No, I'm Rhett. Oh.
He is Christmas Eve Max, and he will be here, and he's going to flex. And when he flexes,
Apparently.
it is on.
I feel like he's like all iodined up and
This all of a sudden
jacked.
feels dirty. I don't like it.
I don't know, Greg. I've been thinking the same thing. We do have a listener named Peter North, and he hasn't rung in all night long. That's okay.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
Well, what he says, and don't quote me, but I think this is 1996. It's all over my brand new suit. What am I going to do now? Remember that one?
Of course, everyone remembers that one. I mean, it's
But that was, we said that a
Clean
lot. Like, but he was so confused. He was like,
it's all over
and I was
my
like,
suit.
God, this guy's not a solutionist. He's so great in every film, but like,
He's not a
what
problem.
are you going to do now?
He's not a problem
clean it.
solver. He's used to people solving his own problems.
Soda water.
Have her clean it.
That's where.
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking
dude.
about, sir. I didn't say
How
there was
dare
a
you.
her. I just
How
said Peter North said,
dare
it's all
you.
over my brand new suit. What am I going to do now? And he was like flummoxed. But whatever. That's when there used to be a plot.
Well,
Sorry,
It did provide-
Christmas Eve, Max.
hey, listen. I mean,
Oh,
be
I'm
ready
not-
when he comes.
I'm now
Whoa, the
figuring
Rams claim Baker Mayfield. I did not see that coming.
out- What a power move! Oh God, guys, the
rumor-
Rams took Baker.
The rumor
Mayfield.
is that Stafford wants to retire.
Fine, but guess what? I'm starting a new rumor that's called
Like he just
Baker should retire first, sir.
he
No
wants to go
way.
home now. He's tired. He wants to go home now.
This is in the rags, and actually, there's someone on the board named Greg Martin who sends me these links from the rags that talk about. So the rumor of a. So this is all from Greg, by the way, not from me. This is from Greg for the board to know that Aaron Rodgers won't get
Is Greg the little birdie?
proper.
Be
No,
honest.
no, he's not a little
Ah.
birdie. He is not. He is not a birdie at all.
He's Greg.
But he knows Christmas Eve Max.
Sure.
But the
Christmas Eve, I'm setting so many
Aaron
Max-
Rodgers won't go to the doctor to solve his medical issues that he's having right now because he no longer believes in modern medicine. That's one.
Go see the doctor.
He
Come
won't
on,
do
man.
it. Number two, Matt Stafford.
Does he believe in people who can tape? Because that was a terrible tape job on
It
his
was.
thumb, too.
I mean, he has a broken thumb. When is the last time a doctor was like, "Hey, let me just tape that up"? Like it's a broken thumb. Like obviously he's not seeing a doctor. No doctor.
With
they had
one
their
strip
license
of tape.
revoked.
It was one
I
strip.
prescribe you
It was like duct tape. It was like that.
ungood-looking women progressively.
like Scotch tape.
Congratulations.
Here's a little piece
And
of
one of
athletic.
them's going to be a witch.
It's like, yeah, my thumb's broke. I'm like, really? You
Sorry.
literally can't. You don't have anything on your hand except for like one ply of some masking
Telling you,
tape.
Blue
Like,
of
sir,
Earth
look at me. I used to date Olivia Munn. Like, do you
Blue
see who's
of
in the
I
waiting
got
room?
this. I got
Do you know
this.
who's in the waiting room?
Oh,
you think
yeah.
this hurts?
Blue of Earth is screwing that voodoo doll up all over the place. He's just falling apart.
Rumor two: Matt Stafford is going to retire. Wants to retire. I've been talking about it. He's gonna say, which
Sure.
the concussions are starting to mount up. Blah blah blah. The best was the rumor number three. Rumor number three: quarterback in the Midwest, A-list quarterback, sex symbol, stepping out on his girlfriend in such a way that like it's in
That
right
Chris
in,
Paul would be pissed?
in her face. No way she doesn't know about it. That's part A. Part B is same thing playing out in Buffalo. So basically what they're saying, and
Everyone's humping around. Bobby
no,
Brown?
is that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are getting super down on just like a I don't care anymore. It's time to get after it basis.
Are they married?
Joe Burrow, I don't believe is, and I don't know about Josh Allen.
I don't think either of them.
I don't think either of them are
So
either.
I'm going to just
not,
say
Yes,
this.
yes.
If I'm either or,
Oh, you know what the rumor was?
Wrap it up, buddy.
The rumor
let me
was
get down. Let me get down.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
No, but I don't
just
mean
make
that in a bad way.
Just
Double
make sure
back.
you take care of yourself.
Double
No,
back.
those ladies,
Wash
they're
your
singing the
asses.
same song.
Yeah, they are for sure. For
Yes.
sure.
And
Wash
they
your
should be-
asses
yeah.
and cover up.
The issue, what they were reporting was, and this is again Greg, not me, is that Joe Burrow's girlfriend was like knows totally about it, but doesn't want to break up with him because why? Because she still gets to be Joe Burrow's
Now,
girlfriend.
we all know you wouldn't break up with him either.
No, of course not. Are you kidding
course, I
me?
know.
I've become accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Cincinnati Joe, cool Joe,
Become accustomed.
Joe Cool. Like, come on, man. Like, he's like, that never happened.
Never happened. It wasn't me. It was not me. I don't know what you're talking about. So, anyways, I can't. We want more. I want more of this because the Aaron Rodgers thing is believable. The Matthew Stafford thing is believable. And
Until one of these young bucks dates a witch, I'm just saying.
it's gonna happen.
I know. No, it's not. No. Aaron Rodgers, he's not done yet.
He's gonna date a witch.
He did.
He's
Blue, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
Blue of Earth.
she's like a,
okay. She's gonna date another witch. He's gonna go on
dated
a
a
run
witch.
of witches. He's in the witch
If you want to
community.
be rich,
You know what though? He's probably like, hey guys, listen, like nobody is involved.
date a
Like,
blue witch.
I'm on the inside now. I got you wouldn't believe. Like maybe it's like a whole thing now. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, Halloween's over, but the season of witches is year round apparently.
Well, I don't want to cause any trouble in the witch community.
Me neither,
so-
man. I'm just
And they're checking in there. Like every week when it's like,
yeah.
hot love, blah, 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 witch.
I predict Aaron Rodgers abruptly retires and then goes into some alternative medicine business, just like Jake Plummer.
I think he straightens out and gets out of the league. I think it's gonna be weird until he stops playing football, and then all of a sudden you're gonna watch. He's gonna start playing golf,
he's gonna
and
get real weird
he's gonna be like,
after
"Oh,
that.
I maybe
Super weird.
maybe," or he'll just be like, "Man, that was crazy, right? Hey, did you?" You know what I mean? If you're like going to be like, "Man, can you believe that? Can you believe I did that?"
They're going to be like, sir, I read you haven't talked to your family in 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh, shit. Damn it. My brother's a dick, but I like everyone else.
Siri, I told you, Siri, you were supposed to give me a reminder 14 years ago.
His mom's like, I told you. No witches. No,
No witches.
witches. Olivia Munn was gorgeous.
Manner of
She had-
speaking,
she had
you
hot
got the
dog.
last word. Can we stop with the washed up QB searches? Fair.
That's
We'll
what's
see.
out there.
But that's what.
Unless Caleb Williams can reclass and we can take him because
Because I would. Until next Tuesday night, he's Tim Strachan.
This has been fun, even on a tie.
He's on the
Tuesday.
tie. He's Kevin Rick.
it was so much fun to talk about tying.
Yeah.
We tied
Tied
one on
one
a little
on.
bit. I did this afternoon,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm happy to keep it going. Double tie, double knot, whatever it is. Let's not do it again. Next
Three
Sunday.
snaps in a Z formation.
Yeah, but if we take care of business, well, we'll talk before that. But we're putting ourselves in a position of strength
Yep.
if we take care of the Giants, because that's the only. After the NFC stuff, after the NFC East stuff, we only have one team that can bump over us.
Only one.
in a tie. And if we take care of business Sunday, ties and all that shit
Only one.
does not matter. Wins and losses do, and I like that. So this tie has put us in a place where only wins and losses matter.
Yeah,
I
and
like
it
that.
locked us in against the Giants.
Did.
Yep.
Against the Giants, and you know what?
And he put a little bit of pressure on the Seahawks to not suck down the stretch.
Well, that's up to the Seahawks. So.
Exactly.
But the pressure's off us for all these NFC East wins and all the tiebreaker shit. There's no more tiebreaker for us. Our tiebreaker only involves us and the Giants playing on Sunday night. That's it.
Yep.
Done deal.
And we get a little someone named Chase Young back on the field. If he doesn't play in
I'm
that
not talking about it
game,
until he just does.
understood.
Yeah.
Understood. But he was out running around doing some things before the game in a way that I thought, all right, they're clearly, they're going to give him another 2 weeks. When he's not out there for that tee, it's going to be a different conversation. But
Sure.
at this point in time, I'm assuming he will be, and I'm positiving my mind up about Chase Young being added to this defense. That's an unfair situation. And
It's
the
a
fact
fun thing to think
we're
with.
at
No
As long as the same
expectations.
people who
with
took
no expectations, this is fun to think about, right?
Yeah.
Let's have that mindset. Don't
Yeah.
think he's coming in here to get 10 sacks week one. Let's just say he came to play some team ball, and he's a team guy, man. There's no doubt. Like, whatever. Let's go Chase. Looking forward to
Hopefully,
it.
whoever took care
Yeah.
of Curtis Samuels is taking care of him, and because that worked out.
yeah, that sure
Oh,
did.
yeah. And when he gets his
I'm not
first
gonna-
sack
I'm not
at
gonna-
home on Sunday night, can you imagine the rumble in Landover where this dude's won
That was
championships and been the rookie of the
Team.
year in this league? Let's not forget
You
who
just-
plays on our team.
you just hit me. I mean, the only feeling, the feeling that I felt the most, the hardest during that Giants game was watching Curtis Samuel make that play in overtime and us not being able to win for him.
It's okay.
I know, but that was like oh my
All
god.
we said was he's tough as shit, he's ballsy as shit, and let a groin injury teach anyone different
I know.
is wrong.
And he got
has shown
when
it.
he got
he's
those
a bad
yards,
son of a bitch, right?
and we didn't get another 4 or 5 to win the game. That's the thing that stands out to me. That's what I hope the taste in the locker room is going in to next week, is understanding that doing what we do with who we are against who they are, we should have won that game. And the fact that they weren't able, and they haven't put us down, and 4 quarters in DC with our 11 best guys should favor us.
I didn't want to say it the whole entire time, but I want to say it now. Those refs, they muffed us. They muffed themselves.
Dude, it was a thing.
They
They got a bad grade this week.
This is the first time all year long I can be like, they muffed it up. The officials were freaking horrible.
They sure were, and they got poorly graded.
We don't do that here.
They were bad.
They stung. It was some shit.
Pulling that PI flag up was
Come on, man.
unforgivable.
No, it's a judgment call. I love what he's like. How do you pick up what is someone's judgment? So there was a double judgment. There's so much judgment. Everyone's judging out there.
It's too judgy.
But that's fucking pass interference. By the way, you just flick a dude in the nut these days. It's pass interference. We know how bad it hurts.
It was.
Just saying.
Mara. I love the conspiracy theory from New York that Mara was involved there. Hey, who knows? These guys, as long as Dan Snyder's in the owner's box,
I agree.
Fine.
I agree.
Whatever. All right. We'll be back in 1 week.
The board was great tonight.
We're playing again in 2. On our way to the playoffs. Team is sold. This is a week to celebrate on a variety of levels. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Maringold. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We are still live.
Enjoy your bye better than your tie.
I forgot about the bye tie scenario.